I think it's important to say a few words in response to all the discussion that's taken place in the last couple of weeks. I can tell you, as newly elected mayor, I simply wasn't aware of the politics in Cambodia at the time. Just like I don't know the politics in Malaysia or Thailand, I can tell you, I was quick to learn, and times have changed. Most immigrants leave the country for a better life, either to be free from political persecution, a war-torn country, or in the case of Cambodian genocide. 4 decades ago, a generation of people came to Lowell from a distant land. They came to escape the atrocities of genocide. We saw it ourselves. And it was a difficult transition for both the city and the Cambodians. We were very different cultures. And like so many other generations, we learned from each other, we learned to work together, and develop a respect for each other's culture. In my time as the mayor, I spent much time fostering relations with Cambodians across the community, to develop a trust, and to continue to integrate into the mainstream mold. And to me, it was beginning to pay off. We have developed relationships. We've worked with community leaders for a better Lowell. And we now see new businesses contributing to the tax base. Immigrants are purchasing their homes and fixing them up. We are once again becoming one Lowell, and we need to continue to work together, breed acceptance, embrace our diversity, and we do this by respecting each other. So last year as the mayor, community activist, myself, Councilor Marcia, we took a journey to Cambodia. We paid for it ourselves. Councilor Marcia and myself and others took a 13-day tour with one purpose. We wanted to learn about our brothers and sisters Cambodians here in Lowell. We wanted to understand the culture, the history, see the country, so we could be better leaders and activists. For 2 years I have listened to hundreds upon hundreds of Cambodians, the travesty each Cambodian in Lowell has suffered. There's not one that has not lost a family member. Those Cambodians who did escape the death camps, those Cambodians here tonight, who made it to the borders, they made it to the mines, the Pol Pot guerrillas, famine, starvation, the jungles. We saw it, we heard it all. Those who were fortunate enough to make it to a refugee camp, only to live there for many years, finally found restitution in a safe place they call home, Lowell, Massachusetts. As the first mayor from Lowell to visit Cambodia, we went there because we felt it was important to develop trust with our citizens, to show them respect. We chose to learn about you because we know it can only make us a better city. We visited hospital sites, very poor historical sites, denigrated neighborhoods. We went to the remote border of Thailand, where refugee camps. We saw Kawidan, Site 13, Danrek, and some of the other refugee camps, where each and every one of you feared for your life. We met with Cambodian leaders of the ruling party. We also met with Sam Ramsey, Hemsakar, to hear of election irregularities, human rights violations. And then we experienced something. During our trip, on our last day of our trip, a group of women, mothers and grandmothers, had been jailed for exercising the basic right that we honor here, right here tonight, the basic freedom of speech. Just because they wanted to speak, they were jailed. The government took their homes. Councilor Mercy and I, we went into the prison under strict guard. And initially we were denied and we were allowed to enter the prison, and we met for over an hour. It was a moment I'll never forget, an impression that has left an indelible mark in my mind. Surrounded in squalid conditions and sweltering temperature, we met with these 10 women. One was a 72-year-old grandmother. They have been sentenced to over a year in prison. The torment on their faces, the tears of hopelessness. Rita and I promised to do all we could upon our return, and we did. We were their last hope. They had So on our visit, we insisted these women be treated and released. It sparked national media attention, along with it the ire of the Cambodian government and Prime Minister. The day I returned, the letter was already on my desk, castigating me and Council Mercier for our visit to these women and making, and I quote from the Secretary of State of Cambodia, Uch Barith, making groundless statements concerning the Cambodian judicial system. We saw it with our eyes, we heard it with our ears. I wrote Secretary Kerry, Congresswoman Saunders, Senator Warren, and Senator Martin. We pleaded for their help. Worn, broken, distraught, no money, no lawyer, given harsh sentences for basic human rights. And they all wrote on behalf of these individuals, Congresswoman Saunders, Senator Martin, and Warren. I have a letter here from Senator Kerry, dated April 15th, urging the release of these prisoners. I'm happy to report, I believe because of our efforts, these women were released several weeks later. In conclusion, you can see here tonight, the people here will not be silenced. They came to this country. They know the politics in Cambodia, and I feel we must stand with each and every one of you, and I will stand with you tonight. Our quest for strong democracy here in Lowell and across the USA. And let me be clear. Let me clear up a misunderstanding stated earlier surrounding this statue. At no time during our visit did we request a statue. In fact, it was the complete opposite. We respectfully decline the offer made of such gift because we know before we left. We'll raise our own money, we'll get our own statue, it'll be our pride in our city. I want the people to know here tonight, I stand with you. I hear you fight. We have heard your cries for help. We came together during the horrible Branch Street fire. You saw the outpouring of support from every Lowellian in this city. It was a moment of unity, and that should not be broken. There are problems all over the world. There are problems in Cambodia as well. We in here, we in Lowell, do not need Cambodia politics in Lowell, Massachusetts. I say let Cambodians be free in Lowell, that's where they came. Let them be free of controversy. Let us develop our city with Cambodian Lowellians together. Keep the politics, keep the propaganda out of Lowell. Let the elections be free in Cambodia. Let the people's voices be heard. Open the election process and ensure transparent elections. This is what makes America great. This is what will make Cambodia the same.
Thank you very much for spending your time. You could be doing something else, but you're here because this is what you believe in. Isn't it wonderful to live in Lowell and have free democracy here? Yeah. This is all that you were asking for in Cambodia. Is that too much to ask for? This is because we sit in these seats. This is not our building. This is your building. This is everybody's building. This is our building. those in opposition, those that are for this gentleman to come here, they have a right to speak as well. But if you notice, in my philosophy is the majority rules, and I think more people are against this visit than for this visit. So my belief is with the people that are against it. But let me preface this. I did go to Cambodia. I know there was opposition for us to go. We went not because we believed in your government or was politically incorrect, because we believed in the government that was there. I went along with everybody else because I wanted to get to know you better. I wanted to see your history. I wanted to feel what you felt, and I believed in that so much that I had an opportunity to go. I paid for it myself. I wanted to see the beauty of your country. I wanted to see Angkor Wat. I wanted to see the Bayon Temple. I wanted to see all these things to where maybe you were walking there as a young child. I wanted to see what you felt, what your parents felt, what your relatives felt. When I went to this high school that was turned into the Tuol Sleng prison, and I saw the atrocities there. We met two gentlemen that were the last two oldest survivors that were tortured, and I saw pictures of the torture, and it was enough to make you cry, and I couldn't believe that this was possible. We went to the killing fields. We saw bones that were still coming out of the ground. It was just devastating, everything that we saw. It was horrendous what you people went through and your relatives. We went to Thailand to visit the refugee camps. And although I believe that you were getting away from persecution, we learned there that at one of the sites, this young girl was raped, tortured, her arms and her legs were cut off. People didn't know why they didn't hear this taking place. The reason is because the woman, the young girl, could not speak. She was deaf and dumb, and that's why they preyed on her. So even when you escape persecution, you still were persecuted to some degree. I felt that. I know you better because I went there, and that's why I appreciate you better. I started out wanting to know more about you because I'm a first-generation American. My father was an immigrant that came to this country at 7 years old from another country, and I could see the pride he had in his country, even though it was devastated. His village or his land where he grew up was destroyed in the war, so I could see his pride, just as I can see your pride, that you love your country of Cambodia. Yes, absolutely. I wanted to see the Mekong River. I saw that. I was on it. I appreciate everything that you've been through. I went because I wanted to see what you viewed, what your life was all about, what your history and your heritage was all about. So I feel I know you. I didn't go because I agreed with the politics of your country. I didn't know your politics of the country. Since I know who is there and who is coming over here, I don't like communism. I don't like persecution. I don't like people to be. I tell you, I will stand with you as well, and I will not honor this man's person. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know. You won't see me there.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Why not?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let me begin by thanking all of those who came out to speak this evening, a few that spoke in favor of the upcoming visit, and the many that spoke against it. As former Mayor Elliott said, and Councilor Garcia said, this is your city, and we listened to 24, couple dozen people this evening. Most of you want us to rescind the invitation, want us to work with you on raising money to accept the gift. That's something that I certainly can stand behind and support. We also have a petition for 500 signatures. Again, this is your city hall. I am very proud of the fact that you came here this evening, and all my years on the city council, this powerful message that I heard tonight will resonate with me for the rest of my life. So I really wanted to congratulate you for the work that you put into getting people here and asking your city government to stand with you. And I'm prepared to do that. I'm prepared to stand with you. Steps, and I think we'll look to the mayor's office, look to the solicitor's office as to how we go about rescinding the invitation, and to also, again, work with the Cambodian community on that gift. Again, you've done so much for this community over the last 3 decades. It is only right and fitting that we, as the city councilor, work with you to get you what you want, and I'm prepared to do that. Thank you.
First of all, I want to echo the comments. I just want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to come down here. I think this is a clear representation of what this is a republic form of government, but this is what a democracy is all about. I also personally want to thank Adam Brill. I didn't really pay much attention, to Cambodian politics. Obviously, I know the history of the killing fields and read much about it. But sitting down with Adam, I've sat down with many folks regarding this. Many of them are political. That's very true. But sitting down with Adam and just starting to learn more about it, you start to look up and find out more about the history, which is, it's a challenging history. I too will support rescinding any invitations that we sent forward. However, I think it's very important that we know that other people have a different opinion. In this country, we tolerate other opinions and we let people speak and voice those concerns. There is a minority tonight that did voice their concerns, and I appreciate them having the courage, because I've been in this chamber before when I'm in the minority, and it's hard to do. And this is what's important about this country. You did that. And I'm proud of you, because I've sat here before in many areas where I've been booed speaking. And I just want to thank you for taking and having the courage to do that. Thank you.
Thank you,
I want to voice some of the issues that were just raised. I think tonight, when you talk about democracy, you saw democracy in action, because you had people with very different views for many different reasons. But Khan was here in this chamber, and people were allowed to speak. And I think that speaks volumes when we talk about democracy in this country. And it speaks volumes about the people who to this country, who've taken on what this country is all about. And sometimes I think have a better understanding than some people who have been born in this country, have a true understanding of what it means to be in a democracy. I've been to Cambodia, and I've seen the best and the worst in Cambodia. When I say I saw the best in its people, I saw the best in its students in the elementary grade, students at the high school, in many crowded areas, crowded schools, 40, 50 students in the class, but all eager to learn. When I said I've seen the worst, I saw the killing fields. And, one can talk about genocide and what it means, but the impact it had on me is something I will never forget. The group that we were with, there was a hope that one day we could replicate the killing fields, here in Lowell and Guam, and also other commemorations about genocides that affected many other people, because Lowell has been a welcoming city to so many people who have been abused in their country. The thing is, I do believe my trip to Cambodia made me a better headmaster in the sense of I really had an understanding of the people and the students. They gave me a better way of dealing with things. But I do know that it's not our job as city council to deal with foreign affairs. It's really our job as civil servants and people who live in Lowell. Make up this wonderful city. And at this point, two strong opinions were given to us tonight. But I think it would serve us well, if we support the people in the sense of not allowing this process to happen, not allowing a delegation to be received diplomatically, whatever terms you want to use with it. But respect the wishes of the people and allow life to go on. And as well-meaning as this might have been, as some people might see this, the issue of the statue, I think people spoke well. I mean, the statue is representative of something that's very important in Cambodian culture and history. Maybe we all help find a way to pay for that statue. But the delegation, I do not think should be received by the city of Lowell at this particular time.
I too want to thank everybody for coming down. I want to thank all the speakers. As Councilor Leary said, it's not easy to come down when you're in the minority. But this is how government works, and we appreciate all the speakers that came down, everybody that filled the gallery. Appreciate the kind words. Mr. Arnold over there, thank you. Like you said, for my father. And the process works. And we appreciate it, and we're here to support you. Thank you.
I just obviously stand with the people and the council that spoke earlier tonight. So thank you for doing that.
So let me just say a couple of words. I think that, like when Ranielli was the mayor, I came into this office without knowing much about Cambodian politics or the country of Cambodia. And so for me, it's been sort of a catch-up time to find out about what it's like in Cambodia and what the politics are in Cambodia. And probably 5 or 6 weeks ago, I had a visit from the honorary consul general, whose offices are in Lowell Square. I'm sure that probably most people here know him. And he told me that Hun Manet was coming here in April with a delegation that was comprised of about 35 or 40 people. And included in that delegation is to be the ambassador to the United States, the Cambodia ambassador to the United States. And also included in that delegation is to be the Minister of State, or the equivalent of the Secretary of State for Cambodia. So it isn't just the Prime Minister's son or the general that's coming. It's a delegation with several dignitaries from the country of Cambodia. And I don't know who the rest of the people are, but there's probably about 40 of them coming all together. And I've heard it described tonight in some of the remarks that Lowell was rolling out the red carpet, or that those people were invited, or that we asked for the statue, and none of that is true. The statue was just, I was shown a picture of what the statue would look like. I was told that the statue is of a king from the 12th century, who served as king for approximately 40 years. I was told that the statue is about 4.5 feet high, and that it weighs several tons. So to get the statue here, it's my understanding that it's supposed to arrive sometime next week. Basically, it's quite a little task to send it back. I'm not sure who pays for the postage to send it back. But nevertheless, the statue was supposed to come, and the honorary consul general wanted the statue to be placed in front of City Hall. I told him that we would find a prominent place for it, but it probably would not be in front of City Hall. And I think after consulting with the city manager, we thought the best location was right on the river where the water fest is held every summer. So that's where the statue would have gone. It is not a party or a special reception that was here at City Hall. It was the delegation, which was to be comprised of about 30 or 40 people, was going to come here in the morning on a Saturday between 10 and 10:30 just to meet with local officials and then leave. meet those 40 people would probably just take a half hour all told. So that's all that was going to take place. As far as I know, I had heard that the delegation was going to meet with business leaders, but I don't know what business leaders. And I was told that the delegation would be honored at a reception Sunday evening, but I'm not sure where that reception was going to be held. I was invited to that reception. It was my intention not to go to the reception. But I do feel, or I have felt, a responsibility as the mayor, and I certainly have other things to do on Saturday mornings other than to hang out with 40 dignitaries with a suit, coat, and tie on. So it's really not my first choice to do that. But I felt like I had a responsibility as the mayor of the city to do that. Regardless of the politics over there, or regardless of anything else, I think if any dignitaries come to this city, the mayor has a responsibility to meet them. However, given that, if there is a vote of the city council that's unanimous, that prefers that I don't do that as mayor, then I certainly would abide by that vote. But if we don't have that vote, and it's not unanimous, then I think that I have a responsibility as mayor to meet with them on that Saturday. And I understand that that there are people in the Cambodian community who have appreciation for the Prime Minister, the stability that he's brought about in the years that he's been, that his government has been in charge. And I also understand that there's a lot of people who don't care so much about that stability and are more concerned about human rights. And I also have an appreciation, although I don't know it firsthand, that there's probably a lot of people in the Lowell Cambodian community that have bad memories of their time in Cambodia, bad memories for things that may have happened to their families, and that those leave deep scars. And I'm sure that for at least some people that were brought here tonight, they came because of those scars. So anyways, Council Manet.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That was very nice. And, I support your decision, but at the same time, at that time, you had an obligation to represent the city in that fashion. At that time, you did the right thing. But we all, in the last few days, all got a crash course in Cambodian politics, have we not? And these people who spoke tonight know a heck of a lot more than we do. And we saw the passion that they spoke with tonight, and the suffering. You could see clearly the suffering that they and their family members went through with this regime, and it's very clear this general has blood on his hands and has brought many people to their knees with pain and suffering, and many who are related to these people tonight who spoke. So I think it's clear that we denounce this visit and this gift that he's trying to present to us.
Yeah!
Accepting his gift abroad to the city.
There's no motion.
As a motion.
Okay, Council Manager, second by Council Elliott. Discussion on the motion, roll call on the motion.
Council Mercy.
Yes.
Council Milonazo.
Yes.
Council Roy.
Yes.
Council Sumar.
Yes.
Council Belan.
Yes.
Council Rowley. Yes. Mayor Kennedy.
Abstain.
Council Lee.
Yes.
Council Leader.
Yes.
That's 8 yeas.
Motion passes. So we won't be greeting. Assuming that a lot of people want to stay in the council, we'll take a 3-minute recess.